this year, 2025, the NAMM show, it's special for me to be here at NTP because I am now a big fan of NTP, and in particular, that guy right there, the AX64, is a brilliant piece of technology for your studio that will embrace anything that you've got going. If you're doing analog, if you're doing AES EBU, if you're doing light pipe, ADAT, if you're using Dante, right?
Yeah.
And in fact, so our setup is that we're actually using all the languages that it can speak. So we're doing analog, we're doing AES EBU to speakers, we're doing Dante to the headphones.
For all of the people standing here, that's actually showing up over here.
Is it?
The setup that you've come up with?
Oh, well, I'm going to step down here and talk about it then.
Yeah.
Because this is a diagram that I made up that talks about my system here in this studio. This is my system called Audio Shop, and it's in Oregon. But I do a lot of mixing there, and we just got this DAD thing running. Oh, my God. And you'll see that it has a Thunderbolt connection that goes to the Mac. It also has Dante that that connects to the headphone system, and we just got the Hear Technologies system, which is speaks with Dante, and so it's just like an additional 16 channels of audio coming out of this box on Dante. Also ADAT optical, and I've never had a system where I used the optical before, and so an additional 16 channels there. So this thing is a monster. It really is. In fact, all I have is a card with 24 outs. But since my console is 24, if I'm going to do analog mixing, it's perfect. So it just interfaces right there. The other way that I mix is often with stereo. I'll use a summing system made by Dangerous Music. And that here is represented here. That it will, we're feeding it with the ADAT optical, but we're returning it ASEBU back into the DAT. So you can do it any way you need to do it, right?
Yeah.
And so there, this is everything we possibly could use. And then we had an old Orion, and we've also connected the Orion up. So I've got another 32 in and out, but the Orion is just an auxiliary.
Right.
And I don't really even need it, especially now that we have Dante. We eliminate this whole thing right here. We don't use the analog inputs on that headphone. Now it's Dante.
That's fantastic.
It is fantastic.
It really is.
It is.
It's all about connections, isn't it? And technically and creatively and everything.
Yes,
it's kind
of
of what
course.
you're doing, and
Yeah.
that's what we're trying to do as well.
Well, I'm glad to be able to explain how this is set up. It's the patch bay takes up a lot of room here because everything goes into the patch bay. But this is the center. This is the heart of the whole studio right there. And it's the great thing is that you don't even notice it. You don't know it's there. It doesn't ever complain, and it always works. So that's why we love it. So I'd love to talk more about the DAD system, or just in general, like
Yeah.
creative music things.
That's exactly. So what we've done now is we've introduced another piece of software. This is the control pack, which allows you to do very complex routing presets that you can switch in one sample. So you're able to set up multiple recording setups, in whether it's a guitar amp setup. You can essentially make 4 buckets of 256 inputs. You can switch to a set of outputs with one flick of a button. To give you that kind of flexibility that you can have your very impressive and very beautiful studio set up in a way where you are able to try different things without even having to leave the desk or the chair, or with everything that you've set up like that. It gives you a tremendous amount of flexibility. So we're really excited about helping you set that up. So I'm pretty sure you haven't done that yet.
And the most interesting thing about what you're talking about, these presets, is that we have several jobs at this studio. We mix stereo, we mix Atmos, we track, and tracking is a completely different animal. If you take a look at the diagram again, we're tracking into a Rupert Neve Designs console, and then that goes right into the DAD. So, I mean, but if you're talking about these presets,
Yeah.
it's going to make the internal routing so much easier. Just go
that's
bing,
the
bing,
idea.
bing.
Yeah, that's
And
the
you
idea.
hook it up and never have to hook it up again. That's what I'm hoping for.
I mean, we spend way too much time doing those kinds of things.
Oh, I'm so glad.
So we're trying to take that out of the equation.
Oh, good.
Excellent.
All right.
All right. Well, I mean, that also takes care of the only real, question I had that had to do with us is essentially what was your exposure to our products, and you so eloquently told us.
Well,
what
I've
it
known
is.
about DAD. I mean, I've seen the units, and then and for one thing, they're beautiful. I mean, it's the best looking unit you can get, and the DAD like glows,
Yeah,
and it's
yeah.
very nice. But oh geez, I lost my train of thought.
So, yeah, about we were. I was going to ask you, do you remember the first time you heard about our
Oh
products?
yes, that's right. Well, when I realized that the Avid unit, the Avid IO, the Matrix, was actually made by DAD, and in fact is a DAD. I mean, it's the same thing. It's got the modular cards that you
the
can.
structure is modular.
The structure,
Yeah.
and so because the Matrix was so highly regarded, that automatically, when I found out it was, made by NTP, well, it's like, well, there it is.
We're the wizard.
Yeah.
We're the Wizard of Oz.
Yes,
Yeah,
you guys,
exactly.
you're the ones that put the whole thing together.
We're behind the curtain.
You did all the work.
I'm not going to take any credit. It's this man over here. All right. So it essentially leads us to. I'm going to allow for like one or two questions from the audience.
Okay.
But other than that, we're going to do a little question round where you're going to get the opportunity to answer a question in either a creative creative bucket, or a technical bucket, or we'll give you a joker. So you'll get depending on how you like the questions, you might be able to see if you want to answer one or more in this particular category.
Okay.
So, if anyone has a simple question, if not, we can go straight to my little
Go
Q&A.
for it.
We'll go for it.
All right.
I'm going to give you these.
Oh my God, these are real questions.
Here's
It's
a technical.
Okay, technical. All right, hang on. Okay,
You'll take the
creative.
creative.
Okay. All right.
And there's the joker.
Oh my God. Okay, I know where I'm going to start.
All right, where do you want to start?
Bam.
Creative.
Yes.
All right. Let me just get this on again. All right, what would be a good creative? I have a couple because I'm going to see you a few times. So, all right, I'm going to do with this one. Having worked with legends like Prince and Johnny Cash and big personalities like Rick Rubin and Smashing Pumpkins and Tool, who I'm a big fan of, what do you think that they've learned from you?
Wow. Well, see, now that's a tricky question.
That's why I
Not
posed it.
entirely creative, is it?
Well, it's about the creative process and stuff more than it's
Yeah.
about whether or not this is the right microphone.
Let's see. What did they learn from me? Well, most of those people pretty much got it together. But if I could teach anybody, if I could help anyone, it would be to loosen up your idea of how things need to be done. There's rules. It's good to follow rules, but you don't have to limit yourself. If you want to try something that you can't find any information about doing it, go for it. Just be careful with the electricity. You could get bit by the electricity, and I luckily have not so far.
Fantastic. All right. That's a good one.
Pickles. Yeah. Can I explain?
Go on.
All right. I've done a couple experiments with audio that have worked really well, and one is to take an amplifier, a pretty strong amplifier, and a speaker, and take a speaker cable out of the speaker output of that amplifier, like a 1200 watt amplifier, and then split the cable. A speaker cable has two lines. Cut one of those lines and now insert something into that. So you're inserting something into the signal on the way to the speaker. So you can try several things, and I have. So I put a pickle in there, and if you get the power up strong enough, the pickle actually lights up. It doesn't sound so good, but it's really quite visually exciting. All right, so skip the sound on that one. The one that does sound good, okay, same circuit, plug in a piece of Gouda cheese. You would think that this would not sound so good, but in fact, it's a beautiful overdrive, especially on guitar. It's as nice as a great overdrive pedal. And all you have to do is drive it good enough, and there's a reason why cheese sounds good, and I'll explain it. It's a, well, it depends on the cheese, but in fact, it's the sodium content. And sodium chloride, I believe, is a really great conductor. So that's why we get a lot more sound from cheese than we do, say, a potato. I've tried potatoes. Potatoes, they attenuate the signal. They don't add anything to the signal. The cheese really does, though. Light bulbs are amazing. Same circuit, plug in a light bulb. Now, the light bulb is going to get power from the output of that amplifier, and that power will light up that light bulb as well. It depends on the type of light bulb. Incandescents sound a certain way. Fluorescents are an amazing fuzz. And on vocals or guitar, it's freaking better than any fuzz pedal you ever got. And the lights going off and people are freaking out. It's a great thing for sessions. It is, however, I said dangerous. So if you're going to do these type of experiments with these powerful amplifiers, make sure that everything is unplugged until you have attached everything. Nothing is in the power until you've connected everything together. Then plug it in and turn it on, see what's happened.
Fantastic. Now, that is an answer I don't think anyone here was expecting to hear, right? So you now know something that you cannot unknow. All right. So we got room for maybe 2 more questions?
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go.
Do you want to try one?
All right, let's go. Okay. We're going for technical this time.
Technical.
Oh, boy.
I mean, again, I'm still gonna go and make it a question. It's still like a creative side of it. Just like we all know, there's no such thing as the best microphone. So what's the best microphone?
Oh my God, you're talking to someone that really could not possibly answer that.
I know, there's an actual problem there, isn't there?
But I'll tell you, I have a very large microphone collection. In fact, we believe it is the largest in the world. It's 3,500 vintage microphones from all over the world. I've got a mic from 1878 that was built with a carbon stick. And so you didn't know that microphones used to be made out of sticks and rocks. It's true. But what is the best mic is the question?
It's like, which one of those kids do you like the best?
All right. What are you talking into right now? What is that?
Probably the most versatile microphone that exists on the planet.
Yeah.
Yeah, essentially.
Okay, that's the best microphone
58.
right there.
Right.
It always works, right?
Yeah,
SM58.
SM58.
Always works.
Right.
Always
Yeah,
works.
100%.
Plug it in. You can use it on anything. Vocals,
Absolutely.
piano, guitar, acoustic piano. Acoustic guitar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's great.
it's
Drums.
everything, like,
Drums. Yeah.
Like
yeah.
it's the sound of punk rock. Like it's kick drums and it's everything, right?
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
that's
yeah.
what you had. So
and for the voice, it's perfect too. So
absolutely.
there's a lot of mics out there.
Right.
We love them all.
Well,
We especially love them all at the audio shop because we are a no-kill microphone shelter. So if you have microphones that are unwanted, maybe you found it out in the alley or something, we will take them. We will care for them. We will refurbish them, or we'll just put them on the shelf and display them.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Can I choose a joker for you?
Okay, there is one more. Let me get the card.
Should
Hang on.
Should we do one joker?
Okay,
I'll
let's
let
do a
Michael
joke.
take a nice picture
Oh
of you
boy.
with the joker.
Okay, wait a minute.
It's sort of in the same. We kind of went there already.
All right.
So,
Joker.
So you're famously known for saying it's not about the equipment; it's about creating a space for the creatives to sort of do their thing. But as someone who owns 3,500 microphones, is it not even a little bit about the equipment?
Well, I have to say it's not even about the equipment or the space. It's about the song. If I'm working on music, I don't even want to get started until that song is ready. So when I work with an artist, we spend a lot of time going through the material and deciding what songs to work on, and then adjusting those songs so that they're ready. There's an intro, there's an outro, there's transitions. The chorus hits strong. There's good lyric in the chorus. All those things have to be in place before we bring them into a room. I love different spaces, and I'll have a portable rig with me, and we need to talk about that. How am I going to do portable with the NTP?
We're going to talk about that,
okay.
And I'll show you everything you need over here.
All right.
Yeah.
But if it's possible, I will carry a rig with me, and we'll go into a church or a tunnel, or I've been in mines in under Germany. I went to mines. I went to London Underground and recorded. So. And the reason to take musicians into these places is to get them out of their heads, for one thing, because they're constantly thinking about their throat or their, da. So put them in a place where they're completely like off guard, and you get a different perspective from them,
right.
and usually an inspired performance. For instance, if we're doing vocals and we have thank you. If we have a singer in a booth in a studio with Auralex all around and everything, you're going to get a good performance with a good mic. But if you put that same artist with the same equipment in a church, in a cathedral, you're going to get a completely different performance, because that singer now is inspired by their surroundings. So I try to use that. Gear is very important, but it should be invisible.
Right.
It should be set up and ignore it the rest of the time. So far, there's only a few things that are don't have don't let you down on occasion, and that would be your iPhone. So you can always back it, iPhone. So, but and that's happened before.
So essentially, what you're saying is that context matters. Like the creative thing that you're trying to get out of it will change with the environment you're in, and
That's right.
As you're reacting to the environment, studio environment being nothing, that's what you're reacting to. But in a church, you're reacting to something, and you're going to get something completely differently out of it.
And I guess that goes to say, when you're building your own studio, do you want to have things that distract, or do you want to have a complete clean slate? I've heard of producers having studios in entirely white environments, like white walls, and just so that nothing influences the performance. Well, I'm kind of the opposite. I want everything in the room. I want so much stuff in that room that someone is looking around the room and they see an instrument they've never tried to play before, and I'm like, try it, and see, that kind of inspiration is. If anyone has a question, yes.
Yeah, let's get one
All
or two in there.
Do you recall a specific moment where you were like, wow, this is what I want to do, and this is like just something that sparked that? Yeah. This is my love, recording.
It was I was working with Tool, and we were in rehearsals for Undertow, or it was in one of those rehearsals, and I sat there and they were working out parts. And I'm just sitting in the room, just kind of being there if they need me for anything. And then I realized, oh my God, they do need me. They need me to help them with tiebreakers, because they're arguing. And I can be the tiebreaker. And I can also give them some other direction. So do I want to sit here and be quiet? And then all of a sudden I was like, no, a producer, if I want this role, I'm going to have to jump in. And that was the moment. It was in a Tool rehearsal that I decided, well, this is what I want to do. If I want to produce, I'm going to start now. And then I started, shouting out ideas, and it worked out. So I've been doing it ever since.